Willie D Live.
Which brings me to spiritual maturity.
Yes.
Does everybody have the capacity to discover that potentiality?
I think everybody has the capacity. Whether they develop that or cultivate that is a different thing, but I feel like that's innate. I feel like that's natural in the human experience. It's just most of us are born into environments, especially, where we from. I know y'all from Houston, and the guy definitely is rough areas. I'm from Newark. We may have different dialect. And
Brick City.
Brick City, but for those that don't know, we call Newark Brick City.
Yeah.
But where we from, our families, our lineage don't really prioritize honoring emotion. We may have a certain framework of religion, but maybe not our own individual relationship and concept and intimacy with God. So I feel like that's plugged into us when we get here. And when you watch children, I remember I was doing my first course as far as meditation. I was recovering from being blind, recovering from kidney failure. I was at like my personal version of rock bottom. So the first course we had, one of the pieces of homework was to study a child, because in yoga we look at children as more so the adults energetically of this planet, because they so close to God. They completely in the moment. They completely free to be whatever they feel in that moment. And we kind of lose that as we become adults. So when you watch a child, you see that divinity is already there. They don't need a concept for it. They don't need a word. They just know life is beautiful. And even when it's not, they're going to cry for 5 minutes and get right back to playing. So I believe it's natural, but I believe that a lot of people don't realize once we become adults, there needs to be certain parameters put in place. There needs to be a certain effort given to the study of what your particular soul needs to reacclimate yourself to that divinity. Yeah.
How do we lose that, though, man, when we have that innocence, we have that divine entity within us, and all of a sudden, life happens. And what is life happening? What's happening with us?
Well, if you think about it, everything in society is designed to make you forget who you are. So if you think about women in makeup, it's designed to help you forget. There's a, oh God, okay, I feel like I'm about to go on a tangent, but we could go there. There's a guy named Edward Bernays. He's Sigmund Freud's nephew. And so he, one of them is known as the father of propaganda, but they also refer to him as the mad scientist. And so what happens is he created the idea of understanding that if you play on a person's emotions, if you make them feel inferior, if you make them feel insecure, if you make them feel whatever emotion, if you play on it, then it will get them to conform, it'll get them to consume. And because of that, they'll be able to follow society's agenda and not the agenda of their soul. And so there's to the point of what my husband was saying, there's a story. I don't know if the story is true. It doesn't really matter. But there was a family, a wife, a husband, and their 5-year-old son. And they had just had a newborn baby. They went home with the newborn baby, and the 5-year-old was like, I want to spend time with my little brother. I want to spend time with my little brother, but by myself. And the parents are like, this is a newborn baby. We ain't about to let you just be in a room by yourself. But he kept asking. He was adamant. And so they allowed him to stay in the room with his newborn brother, but the mom and the dad just stepped out of the room and cracked the door. And you hear the 5-year-old saying, quick, I'm about to forget. Tell me why we're here. Tell me where you came from. I'm starting to forget. And so whether the story is true or not, it is the sensation that children innately know that they are divine. They innately know where they came from. That's why you can tell them certain things and they're like, that doesn't make sense, because they're already connected to the truth of who they are. And everybody in society says, don't ask any questions. Do this because I said so. And so there's a part of us that innately remembers. And if you think about it, in all of the movies, like the one that I reference is Lion King, when Simba has forgotten his power, he takes a plant medicine, and then he has this vision of his dad, Mufasa. And what does Mufasa say? Remember. Remember who you are, Simba. It is an indication that you are already equipped with everything you need on
you
a
get
soul
here,
level.
yeah.
You already know how to heal, how to grow, how to evolve. You just have to release, shed, and let go of all of the societal norms and tap back into who you are on a soul level. And that's why I titled my book, Remember Who the F You Are. Because when emotions start getting heavy, when you got to start paying bills, you got to show up or perform a certain way to make money at your job, you tend to learn how to conform with mask, and then you forget who you are on a soul level.